Horror is a subject that I've talked about on this channel for quite some time. Whether if it's me talking about a single game that explores the horror genre, or analyzing multiple games that attempt to be scary, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of talking about horror, and that's simply because I love it. Horror games, especially when done right, can create some of the best experiences a video game could ever possibly give you.
We have the place around him. Please come out with your hands up.
Martinez! Richard Martinez! Okay, where did you say the ghost room is?
The idea of a game that's sole purpose is to be horrifying is amazing. But over the years of video games, it has become clear that some scary titles aren't very good at being scary. One of the main places you'll find these types of games is through the medium of Roblox. Roblox is a sandbox game that came out in the year 2006. The game is designed around being able to do whatever you want and generally just being, well, a sandbox. With almost endless possibilities on endless games, it's no wonder that Roblox is commonly known for its incredible diversity. And one of the most popular categories of Roblox games is horror. But don't be deceived, because despite the fact that horror is in the title, the games that try to cover it are usually not exactly good at that. This is mostly due to the friendly and cartoonish art style that Roblox holds. As for the most part, Roblox is naturally a kid's game. And while that isn't necessarily a bad thing, it ends up making the games that attempt to be scary on the platform really just being more confusing than actually horrifying. Some of these games I found were either extremely glitchy, had terrible stories, or just all around were a really hot piece of garbage. So today, I'm going to be on a quest to explore some of these horror games, and wonder why most of them even exist in the first place. In it, I will ask and explore the simple question of how scary can these games truly be. So without further ado, let's begin looking at unscary Roblox horror games. So the first game we'll be looking at is Froggy, where you are put into a random area and you need to hide from the spooky frogman in order to win. So basically this game is like hide and seek, where most of the gameplay for the humans is just standing in a corner until the time runs out. As for Froggy, on the other hand, his goal is to completely murder everyone before the time ends. According to the main page, Froggy has gained a massive 193 million visits throughout its life, with the description of this game saying, "Can you survive 3 minutes against a witch-cursed homicidal frog doll from 1692? What? Froggy is the latest and greatest survival hide-and-seek game on Roblox. Okay, so either the information about the frog's origin date is just flat out wrong, or the game literally just takes place in the 17th century. The game starts with you and a group of players spawning in the lobby. There you can spend the time either voting for the first map to play on by stepping on the plates, or exploring the various leaderboards and shops that this game has to offer. And oh boy, does this game have a lot of microtransactions. However, unlike some games, I can actually see why this game has them, since although mobile games have loads of ads simply for optional money purposes, hosting Roblox games requires a monthly payment out of you. So, assuming that the person that made Froggy is underage and is using mommy's credit card to afford the servers, they're actually gonna have to find some way to repay the server hosting, which explains the stupid amount of expensive items that you can buy in this game. You can even see the top people that donated to this game, with the #1 donor donating over, Jesus Christ, over 100,000 Bobucks. So naturally, being a survival horror game, the humans aren't without a couple tools to help them win the match. The humans, like in most Roblox games, can duck, jump, and fart. When the Froggy is near you, a heartbeat will play indicating that he's close. The closer the frog is, the faster the heartbeat goes. The spooky frogman is much faster than you, and can potentially be very lethal depending on who's playing as him. However, when the Froggy spawns in, he can only ever look through first-person mode as opposed to the humans being able to look in third-person. This naturally makes the game a tad bit easier for the humans, as Froggy can't easily span the room in one shot like what third-person can do. With all of these in mind, you might think that this game is pretty okay for being a survival hide-and-seek game. But oh boy, let me tell you about one mechanic in this game that completely ruins the fun and balance for both teams. By far the most annoying and game-frustrating mechanic in this Roblox game is being able to revive those who died. So when you get found out by Froggy and he comes at you, instead of just flat out dying upon getting hit by his axe, you are instead knocked to the ground with limited mobility, where you will then bleed out to death after half a minute later. When you do get knocked down, there will be a visible health bar to all the players that shows how close you are to dying. The issue is that when a human comes by the downed person, they will slowly regen their health bar until they're fully back up, ready to run again. And this is Froggy's biggest problem. Having to kill 2 or 3 people as Froggy, only for some random nerd to come in and revive everyone behind your back, is stupidly frustrating. The worst part about this is that a single person could be knocked down and revived 3 times before they finally die. What this ends up doing though is making the Froggy target just 1 person before they finally die, which will take a solid minute because of how slow they end up bleeding to death. And remember, this game is like a 3-minute timer when the game starts. Oh, and also, don't think you can just puppy guard the down people either, because upon being near them for a certain period of time, you will start to suddenly slow down to the speed of a snail and won't be able to chase anyone near you for a solid 5 seconds. Because of this single mechanic, the frog can inherently not win a match ever. Put it like this. The match starts with every human eventually hiding until the frog comes. There, one of the humans will get knocked out, causing the frog to abandon them temporarily. There, half the server will go to revive that person behind the frog's back, where now the next 3 minutes of the match is just trying to kill everyone that gets the knockdown people. Once you finally do knock out all of the people that don't hide, you'll have to wait another minute for them just to bleed out in case anyone else comes by. And you spend what little time you have left looking for the people that never moved, only for you to eventually lose. That is pretty much 90% of all the matches that happen in Froggy. I mean, I guess I understand why this mechanic was implemented, but they could have made it a lot more better than it already is in its current state. But yeah, ignoring the fact that this extremely obnoxious element exists, the game is pretty alright. Even then, sometimes no one would come at all to revive me. Like this one time on, well, frankly I don't know where I am, but I get hit by the silly frog as well as 2 other people near me. One of the players decided to revive the person to my left, and the person that just got revived, looking straight at me, decided to not go for me at all.